Hello! Today on Barry's Anatomy, we're going to be looking at art tutorials, specifically the ones like when you're scrolling on Twitter or Instagram, where it's just a picture, a step-by-step. Mongrel, if you could do me a favor and insert the Step 1 draw circle, Step 2 draw rest of owl meme, I would appreciate you greatly. Because that's the kind of thing that we're looking at today. These tutorials, they don't explain as much as they should for what they're going for. They take a lot of information and compact it to the point where it's not feasible. This is a perfect example, because you look at each step going down, and there's so much that's happening that isn't being explained very well, or that isn't showing up. The places that I tend to find these are on, well, Instagram, Twitter, or you can even do Google Images. Or places like this where you look up tutorials and it's like a blog post and they use brushes that they don't tell you that they're using, even though brushes and what brush you're using or what type of brush it is greatly affects the outcome. Like a lot of this like smudginess, like different brushes have different textures, so let's say I use my soft paintbrush, it's not gonna look like that. But what brush do you use that looks like that? Because also different brushes like blend together, or they have different modes. Like this one specifically is helpful when it comes to the shape, but it's like, what am I supposed to use here? Am I supposed to go through every single brush that I have until I find one that looks similar? That's ridiculous. Or, for example, Instagram accounts. This Instagram account shows up in my feed quite often. They post a lot of art tutorials from different artists. I'm not sure if these are posted with their permission or not, but they most of the time aren't very helpful. Some of them are good, but majority are just like, that's a good one when it comes to explaining shape. But most of them don't give enough information, at least not for me. I need to be explained things in detail, in a lot of detail in order to understand. So I picked a couple of tutorials from that Instagram account. I'm going to try to follow them to the best of my ability. And then I'm also going to tackle my biggest pet peeve when it comes to drawing tutorials, and that's grass. And I'll let you know more about that when I get to it. So the start of this tutorial is drawing the basic eye. Okay, let's do that. I think I'm gonna go with my style of eye, because why not? Let's see if I can make my style better. I don't even know like the last time I drew just a big eye. I think like what? High school? Fuck. My style of eye is like considered to be very simple, but I feel like I can capture a lot of emotion and a lot of depth in a very simple way, so I don't feel too bad about it. Now I'm gonna do this just a little bit differently because I don't like to draw with black because it's such a harsh color, and I believe that a warmish like red brown, a little bit darker than that, is more lifelike, if that makes any sense. For example, the lines around, for the eyelashes, that's probably the darkest color that I use. And then all of the lines around it, I tend to use the color that looks more like this if I'm doing specifically like one color of line. Because I prefer to do different color. I prefer to match the line work to the color. So if I'm drawing something that's purple, I outline it in dark purple. Or yellow, I do it in dark yellow. You know, like that combination. Because I feel like that brings things to life more, and it's just my preference. But if I'm using one line color, it tends to be like this. And then for the eyelashes, I use something like this. I think I am going to go with my preference for line work. Okay, now I'm going to add whatever this is. It seems to be sectioning the eye out. And this seems to be a shadow. I'm guessing this to be some sort of, if I had to guess, shadow from the eyelashes. Okay, in this one they add pupil color and shade the pupil. Right now I'm trying to figure out what this artist did in order to get their pupil shape, not shape, shade. And my guess is that they took a purpley blue shade like I just showed, and then set it to multiply. Yeah, that's pretty close. And I'm going to be filling in the pupil separately because of the highlight on it. We're gonna do that with some of this base color. Looks like it was done in an outline motion. That, and then a circle in the middle. I'm actually gonna change this to white. That looks better. I'm gonna even this out on the sides. And it looks like, okay, overlay layer, but they do not tell you what color to use. Love that. Let's just mess with some colors till we figure it out, I guess. My ultimate motto. Okay, let's set it to overlay. Looks like they just do little couple lines. The answer is obviously not white, so I'm going to try maybe the same color as the eye. Looks like they add some hot pink. Worst color pink. And some whatever. Pick a bad shade of pink, I don't care. To be honest, I'm not hating this look at all. I think it looks pretty interesting. Something about like circular pupil shape with an anime eye that I just don't vibe with very much. It looks like the difference in these two is an added reflection up here, I think. And I'm guessing it's with the same hot pink. Let's give that a shot. Looks like there's like highlights of some kind. So let's try a highlight. Maybe in screen. This is to give, I believe, some kind of a as you can see, this is the part where I realized that I done fucked up trying to follow one of these tutorials. Try adding some highlights maybe. I don't fucking know. Change the opacity on this maybe. And then it looks like they're adding another overlay to a shiny spot in the middle. I think that's the only difference. Okay, a lot of steps are going on in this part. Okay. So next, we're adding a highlight. Cutting a piece out of the eye. Personally, I hate tutorials that do, like, they should have done this part so much earlier and saved time that way. At least save time for me. I find it to be very irritating. Let's find the layer. I'm only getting irritated because I don't like tutorials that do that kind of thing. You go with different shades of white for the eye, which is good. I'm gonna go with blue. Okay, we're gonna add a shadow color now. Looks like they go for more reddish brown, not reddish brown, sorry, like a reddish gray for their shading. And they add a strip of what looks like more red color. Like that, maybe. I'm not a fan of that part, to be honest. And then looks like they add blush. And they also add it to eye. I think that if you're gonna do like a tutorial like this, I think there needs to be like color swatches and stuff so that you know what to do. At the very least, you get like an idea. I don't find it to be very helpful. Put it in the outer corner, the inner corner, and then they seem to add it to the bottom lash line a whole bunch. And seem to highlight the lashes as well. I like it, but I also don't for different reasons. For example, when I really don't like whatever this line is. I don't like that that this white doesn't extend. Also, don't think that up here is like dark enough. It just I feel like the eyes kind of look a little dead. So I'm gonna try to fix that. And this is how it looks when I adapt it to my style a bit more. I deepened the color at the top, blending it into bottom. I cut the pupil in half. I just feel like it's softer, more lifelike. I know it's not like realistic lifelike, but I feel like it adds more like a softness to it that I like. And then of course I took the hardline highlights that were in here and I blurred them a bit. I actually might just try doing that on this little piece down here in a second. Yeah, I like that better. I blurred all of the soft things. I also put a highlight the color of the base of the eye going along the top. I also did a highlight on the white part of the eye. I took away that weird line that I didn't like. And I feel like this is better suited for me. I actually like this a lot, and I might kind of implement some of the stuff that I learned from this in my art in the future, because I kind of like the depth it was given, and I was able to simplify it in a way that meshes with what I do. And I actually think I like this one a lot, even though I feel like they do leave quite a few steps out, which is very annoying. I do not like. I would like, oh, I guess I'm gonna deem this one a success. This next tutorial is for a pearl, and this looks very complicated, and I'm gonna see how feasible this is to do, because boy does this look intimidating. I'm actually going to move this over here. At least this one lets you color swatch, I'll give it that. And if you want to do perfect circle, shift. While you make a circle. Oh no.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
I let shift go. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with this color. It says airbrush, so far so good. I already did it wrong. Okay, let's try that again. This layer beneath these layers purely out of fear. Okay, let's go with a thinner brush. Maybe this much. Okay, it's actually starting to look okay. Okay, it looks like we also have to highlight down here as well. It's hard to tell with these ones sometimes because it feels like just so much information. Okay, I'm actually pretty surprised. I think this might be coming out okay. Oh my god. Or maybe it's just around the circle? I don't know. This is... YOLO. Oh, there's a highlight here. Fuck. That's what that is. I think I skipped a step. Maybe take a little bit of... I'm just fucking with it now. I shouldn't be fucking with it. Let's compare this to this. I kinda, like, low-key I'm a little shocked. Best thing to do when you're doing something difficult is to mess with it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone now. I'm pretty... Damn. I did not expect that. I figured it would look like shit. I figured... I'm proud of this one. Now we're gonna go for the funny thing, which is me trying to draw grass. Every single time I have ever tried to draw grass or clouds, it's just like it's a hellscape. It just never works for me. A lot of tutorials when it comes to like grass will be like, oh, I used a custom brush that I made myself. And no, you cannot have any access to said custom brush. So then it's like, well, half the work when it comes to painting certain things comes from the texture of the brush you're using, which is so frustrating. And then they'll just like, where does this come from? Where this? These? The other half of the battle is finding something that matches your style, or something that can be adapted to your style and the level of realisticness to cartooniness, and it truly is, at least for me, the hardest part. Let's try to, this is probably gonna be the funny part, because I fucking suck at grass. So this first tutorial up top is a little bit useless to me, because it's just saying use grass brushes. So, don't really know where to get those. This one's for Photoshop, but I could try to translate it, even though I don't think this works with my style very well. And also I really don't know how it would translate. Like, this is like a small patch of grass. Like, this one would be perfect if it was, like, I might try to mesh like the balancing of this with this. And then this one, I don't even know. I guess I could try doing like the color palette of one, the composition of the other, and the, yeah. Making it even harder for myself. I don't even know why I do this to myself. Okay. Just love how it goes from one to the other just so quickly with so much explanation. I'm already getting salty just because I've been burned before. Regular grunge, I'm guessing. It's actually my favorite brush. This looks more like a painterly brush, but I'm fucking scared. I think one of Clip Studio's like main problems is, you know, like brushes can be a little bit difficult to find, like nice ones. You can download Photoshop brushes now, but you know. Still hard to find at least ones made for Clip. So far it looks kind of okay, like if this was like super far away on the canvas. I'm really trying to just be chill about it and just like a random, just not try to force my strokes, I guess. I'm also trying not to engage too much gene. You know, the gene, you know, it's like you can't stop yourself from doing too much. It's hard to explain, but it just doesn't feel like I'm doing it right, because I feel like I'm used to drawing like like I'm used to lines, so like doing things in a more painterly fashion really trips me up. I guess it's kind of like maybe sewing, where, at least for me, I always hate everything till it's done. Because it just doesn't feel... Because until you have like the full picture, it doesn't look the way you want it to, and you hate it. At least that's how I am. I don't know, is this a success? Maybe, maybe not. This type of grass works for, I'd say, like a swampier, dark area. It's very like dark green to bright yellow. I wonder what it would look like in a different color palette, like this one, because this is very like blue green, this is very yellow green, if that makes any sense to you. But this is fucking bullshit. This was fucking bullshit. This, I don't even... Are these brushes, or are they just... Because this is fucking bullshit. Because it looks like brushes. I wonder what would happen if I tried to... I think I probably have way too many layers on this that are... Let's just try to copy this best of my ability. I done fucked up. Okay, let's go with grunge. Let's start with dark color. It doesn't translate as well, I think. I feel like if I didn't mess up I don't think that this is like a good enough experiment because I did kind of fuck it up. I feel like it could be I think it could probably be translated if I took a little bit more work and made a few more tones. I feel like this could also benefit from some yeah, I think it works. And maybe a shadow color. Let's see. Personally, I prefer it. Yeah, there we go. I think the top one's the winner. I don't know how well it would translate with my style though, but I think it was pretty cool to experiment with it. I will say less bullshit than I was expecting. I don't think you should use a picture like tutorial as a tutorial when it comes to drawing certain things because I don't like with all of these I had to make assumptions and I like really had to like fuck with it, and I feel like I prefer tutorials where it tells me exactly what I need to do. You might not be like me. You might prefer like all of the freedom when it comes to like when you're learning, but I personally prefer like having my hand held a little bit, at least when I'm beginning, when I'm starting something like this, especially if it's something I've never done before. Because another thing about these picture tutorials, yeah, I was able to make this pearl, but why does it do this? I don't know. I just followed a chart, you know? At least when it comes to certain things, like, I don't really think you need to know the whys of an eye, because there's just so many different ways to draw them. But when you're going for like photorealistic, it's like, yeah, you see the smudges and stuff, so you imitate the smudges, but then you can never really take the knowledge from the tutorial that you just followed and apply it to other things like pearls, metals, anything that's shiny. It's like, oh, I can draw like a pearl, but I wouldn't be able to like, I wouldn't be able to do this without color picking from the tutorial again and looking at the step-by-step of it, because I don't know what the color theory to picking the colors for this pearl like is. And like this grass, I might be able, like this grass and this eye I could probably do again without the tutorial, because it's like basic, at least with the grass, it's like basic color theory and just messing with some brushes and then just making some bullshit. But I don't know, I had fun. I was really hoping that my results would be sillier and that we could like laugh about it together, but I'm just so talented. Oh. I'm kidding. But yeah, that was fun. A special thank you to Skitty, Top Hat Turtles, Seraph of Hate, Metal Mongrel, Home Slice, Cowzib, Ionet Runner, Prep Boy Rick, Dilbert Text, I'm a Not There, B Trumbull, Ari, Creamy Goodness, Lady Brains, Madbot, Baloney Pony, Lex Daiskia, Zwick, Casey Cosmos, and Tembo.